Hello, good evening, everyone. And today, our series number 7 about next conversation. And by this is the platform by Kindness Corner, and the intention is holistic healing and mental well-being for all. So, in the last series, we saw how our values, when we are connected to the values, then conversation becomes better. Now, today, I just want you to imagine a scenario, an experience where you feel that. You actually, it is very easier to listen to this conversation or read about how empathy is important, how it is important to understand other person, how it is important to acknowledge them or appreciate them or be grateful. But you find out that actually it is very difficult sometimes to practically follow it, right? If you find it practically difficult to follow it, then I can totally understand it, because I want you to know that it is not wrong. It is absolutely valid, because there comes many times that we are also not totally aligned with our values, or even if we are doing our best job trying to understand them, trying to acknowledge, trying to align with the values, not trying to win the conversation, and still things are not going very well because they have other unexpected reactions at you, and then you don't understand how to react. And then in that, it's an attack on your self respect, or it's if it is truly bothersome for you, then you are really off. So the conversation doesn't go according to the way you had expected. Now, when you read a book or when you listen to such a uh, knowledge about conversational skills, it is so easy, to read about two people are talking to each other. One person is saying something, the other person is listening with empathy, and then this person gets what the first person wants to say, they also say. So this is like very logical to understand कि ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, ऐसा ही conversation दिखना चाहिए कि अगर मैंने कुछ बोला है तो सामने वाले व्यक्ति ने सुनना ही है, उन्होंने सुना है तो मैं तो I am तो always there to listen. But in reality, this hardly happens. Very few times this happens, right? So what is the solution to it? So today's concept is going to be very different, because it is going to give you a lot of freedom. How? The goal of every conversation, even if you want that conversation to end really well, uh, maximum times it will not end up with connection. So when we say communication skills or when we say conversation, the main goal is connection, right? And connection is actually a neutral word. But what is our belief? Our belief is that connection has to be positive. Connection means when I enter into the conversation with the goal of connection, it should end up as a happy and empathetic conversation. How many of you feel that it should end up happy and well? And the reality is that most of the times it goes exactly the opposite way, right? It doesn't end in a very on a very happy note. You're not satisfied, you're not happy about it, because you felt that you were not heard in the conversation. The other person did not even find an urge to know what is going on in your head or in your life, and you are absolutely off track. Correct? So the concept is about, even if the connection word is giving you the vibes of positivity, the author wants you to look at this word connection from the neutral point of view. It can give you any outcome. For example, if you want to talk to your child, and the child is upset about something that happened with his friends, and he or she, they don't want to talk to you about it, and you are really concerned, you are really ready to listen, you are ready to understand and acknowledge, even after doing everything, they are not ready to share with you. So here, the best solution is to disconnect. You need to disconnect with them so that you can connect with them later, right? Another scenario, if the conversation didn't end well, and you also wanted to put your point forth, and you put your point forth, and that truth was not digested very well by the person and they are upset, it is okay. It is okay. If your value is honesty, it is okay for some time to disconnect with the person. It is okay. So it doesn't have to end up all the time on a happy note. But what is important is both the sides should get their turn to put their point forth, right? So not all the conversation, in fact, maximum conversations will not end well. So it is okay to disconnect sometimes. It's okay. Connection doesn't mean to always and always be good and show your happy side, right? It is okay to be upset. It is okay to share your displeasures. And when we find out we don't allow ourselves to do that, then we start criticizing self, and we don't when we don't allow other people to be upset or disagree, we expect them to agree with us, and we actually uh, don't allow the real conversation to happen. For example, you want your child to agree with whatever you want to say. Now when they disagree, you put a label on them. You never listen to me, you never agree with me. So what happens, this label that you put on them, the same situation is created in your life again and again, where they are not agreeing with you and there is no real connection. So the thing is that even if you're disagreeing on something, the motto is to be okay even if you disconnect for some time, right? And many times the arguments or the heated arguments, heated discussions, they take place because of this lack of awareness. The other person who is trying to tell you something, and they are not in their best selves, or they are really shouting and screaming, then what will happen is you will feel that, oh my god, even after applying everything, this conversation is very difficult for me to handle. Now there's a very beautiful thing, this is called as, do you listen to your own voice? You know what is the reality? From where your voice comes, it comes from some vibrations, bones, air, then air pipe, right? So it is like an outcome of a lot of process that is going on inside you. But when you listen to someone else's voice, you listen with your ears. So the external voice that you hear from the other people, it is the external voice which you listen with your ears, but your voice is coming from within. So these are different things. One voice is coming from inside and one voice is coming from outside. And this is the reason why most of the people, they forget what they said. Have you experienced this kind of conversation where you thought that array there was a heated conversation, and you confronted them after a day and they said मैंने कब बोला ऐसा, मैंने तो कभी बोला ही नहीं, and you felt like, oh my god, this person is lying, or you felt that मैंने record करना चाहिए था ये conversation. Why does this happen? It is not that they are really lying, it is that you don't listen to your voice that clearly as you listen to other people's voice. That means not listening, hearing we can say. And because of this, we forget what we said. Now, how can this concept be used in our regular conversations? So, whenever the other person is aggressive, whenever the other person is overreacting, overthinking, and reacting in a very disagreeable manner, then remember that their reaction is not to your what you said, but their reaction is to their conversation in their head with themselves. And this is happening because of the trigger, um because of multiple triggers or fears or old stories that are present and alive in their head. So now when they are reacting, when they are overreacting and they are screaming and they are shouting, and you feel that this is absolutely not asked for, then uh it is their reaction to their own voice in their head. And if you confront them after 30 minutes, 1 hour, or next day, maximum part will be forgotten by them. And even if they accept what they said, they will feel like confused. Really, did I say this or did I do that? And that's why there is a proverb that you cannot see yourself. And that's why there is this fundamental in the conversation to go in the other person's mind and try to look at yourself from that point of view. Yeah, sometimes it is difficult, that's not a problem. And not it is not compulsory for you to go to their level all the time. Sometimes you can also pull them up to your level and make them understand what you want to say. So why does this happen? Because of the lack of awareness, you get agitated. So when you get agitated because of the unwanted behavior or reaction of the other person, it is not because of you saying something or you being triggered. So here I am asking you to stop blaming yourself first. It is their reaction to their stories that are running in their head. So the lack of awareness is the main reason behind arguments, quarrels, or absolutely uncontrollable disagreements, right? But if we have awareness that the person is going to forget about what they said right now, it really does not hold much value also. Does that really matter after 5 days, after 8 days, after 1 year? No. And if you are aware that this reaction, मैंने तो इतना ही बोला या मैंने तो सिर्फ इतना ही कहा, फिर भी इनको इतना रिएक्ट करने की जरूरत क्या है? अगर इस प्रकार का सिचुएशन है तो उनका जो रिएक्शन है वो आपके शब्दों की तरफ, आपके वाक्यों की तरफ या आपके बिहेवियर, आपके बर्ताव की तरफ था ही नहीं। उनका जो रिएक्शन था वो उनकी ही जो स्टोरी है, उनका जो ट्रिगर है या उनकी जो पास्ट स्टोरी है उसके प्रति था। तो here it is very important to understand for you that you can choose to be aware in the conversations whenever there are arguments. And if you don't feel like connecting with them, if you feel hurt and if you don't feel like understanding their point of view right now, give yourself some space and it is okay. Yes, it is okay. So lack of awareness, the most of the work in the coming weeks or in the coming upcoming sessions will be on this concept of awareness. And how can you be in the awareness? So there is a very beautiful concept and you all have heard about it. Power of pause. Power of pause. And confidence comes from this power of pause. What is confidence? Confidence is not about always being right. Confidence is about having control over your mind and words. So whenever you are stuck in such conversations which are difficult to handle for you, always remember to take a pause, to take a moment to just focus on your two breaths and then think about how should you respond or how should you react. This will give you enough time to calm your mind, because when you take a long breath in and you're aware that you're breathing, your brain gets more oxygen. Your internal organs get more oxygen, and then you become more awakened, you become more aware. Also, this pause of 2 to 3 seconds gives you some time to decide your response, to compose your words in your head, and this will save you from many complications that may occur. So even if you think that I haven't cracked this conversation, but if you have avoided multiple problems of future through just this power of pause, then it is all worth it. The conversation doesn't have to be great all the time, but if you can avoid some some unwanted or unpleasant disagreements or quarrels or unnecessary reaction from the other person, still you're a winner in the conversation. So the winner, I'm not asking you to win the conversation against the other person. Winner means doing a good job at that time, right? So the power of pause, sometimes you can take a pause of just 4 seconds, and sometimes you can take a long pause of 10 to 12 seconds. In this 10 to 12 seconds, you get enough time to compose your reaction, to have control over your body language. And this can be best done when you are having good control over your mind and body, and that will happen through the power of pause, that means breathing. And this is a great exercise to be aware in the conversations. What is going on? And awareness about others that they are reacting to their conversation in their head. And number two, awareness about yourself. All right, if it is the truth, let me choose my reaction, my words, my response. This makes you a powerful person in the conversation. So, are you going to use this power of pause in the next conversation? If yes, then type yes in the chat box. And if you think that you need more clarity on this concept, you want to share something, then yes, in Kindness Corner on Friday at 8 at 7 p.m. we are going to address this again, and you are going to get multiple openings about it. Of course, our life is full of people, and without people, we cannot be happy, because we are originally, naturally social animals, social beings, right? So, connection with other people is one big source of our happiness. And this festive season, what makes it festive? What makes it joyful? When you are together, when you are celebrating with people in your family, with people in your friend circle. So, conversation skills is not just the concept, but it is the need of the hours. It is the need of the hour. If you can crack this code, if you can be just 1% better every day, then you will find out that your life is getting more peaceful. Your life is getting better day by day, at home, in your personal lives, in your personal happiness, even at your workplace, to deal with your staff members, your colleagues, your boss, or if you are the boss in your work, then there are multiple people, your customers, your clients. This concept, this skill of conversation skills is going to change your life 180 degrees. Yes. Life is incomplete without people around us. Your money comes to you through people. Then your happiness, personal happiness, comes from beautiful moments that you share with people. Then your relationship bonding, it decides, it gives you so many purposes. Your children, your parents, your spouse, right? So it is absolutely not worth it to ignore the concept of conversation skills. And why shouldn't you take the advantage of this series when it is coming live on the platform of Kindness Corner at 7 p.m. every Friday? So see you on the next Friday. Next Friday, I think it is September, and we will be meeting you on September 5th. And there we are going to see what will be the next one. So there are many beautiful concepts that are waiting for you, and we are very happy to present this concept. So power of pause this week, the assignment for this week is practicing power of pause. 4 seconds pause, short pause. If you feel that you need to gather some words, and 10 to 12 seconds of pause, long pause. If you think that you need to now have some control over your reaction also, and you are really upset with the in the conversation, and it is okay to disconnect. So connection means disconnecting. So when you disconnect, you are acknowledging your upset. When you disconnect, you acknowledge, if the other person is upset, you are acknowledging that, and you understand them. In that silence, you understand yourself or the other person. Correct? So acknowledgement and understanding are the two key pillars of the powerful conversation. And of course, it is not important to connect and have joyful moments. It is okay to disconnect. Practice power of pause. See you in the next week. Till then, take care, bye bye, and have powerful conversations through the power of pause, and also uh, disconnecting if it is needed. Otherwise, connect and create more moments of joy, happiness, and unforgettable memories for yourself and your family.